Assalamualaikum viewers, please like, share and subscribe this channel. Links of PDF files used in this video are given in description. So today is a part 7 of a lecture series about NMR spectroscopy along with its easy guide and examples. And in this particular lecture, we will discuss about chemical equivalence and how to integrate NMR peaks. So today we will start our lecture with the topic of chemical equivalence and its brief overview. So what are the protons that are chemically equivalent? So all of the protons found in chemically identical environments within a molecule are chemically equivalent and they often exhibit the same chemical shift. Thus, all the protons in tetramethylsilane or TMS or all the protons in benzene or in cyclopentane or acetone. So these are the molecules that have protons that are equivalent by symmetry concentrations and have resonance at a single value of delta. So each such compound gives rise to a single absorption peak in its NMR spectrum. The protons are said to be chemically equivalent. On the other hand, a molecule that has set of protons that are chemically distinct from another may give rise to a different absorption peak from each set, and in which case the set of protons are chemically called as non-equivalent. And so the following are the examples which should help to clarify these relationships. So if we see here that these two methyl groups, these both will give a single peak, whereas these four protons will give a different chemical shift value peak, but all these four protons will appear in the same peak. Similarly, these two methyl groups will appear in the same peak. Similarly, these two methyl groups will give one peak, and these two methylene group protons will give another peak. In this way, if we see here, these protons of methyl group, they will appear in a single peak, whereas these methyl group protons will appear in another peak. Similarly, these methyl group protons will appear in a single peak, whereas these two methylene protons will appear in different peak due to these have a different chemical shift value. So these protons are called as chemically non-equivalent. Similarly, these methyl and these hydrogen atoms that are attached directly to the ring, they will be chemically non-equivalent. Similarly, these methoxy group protons and these methylene group protons, they are non-equivalent to each other. Similarly, this methyl and this methoxy group, these both are chemically non-equivalent. So in these examples, there will be three type of NMR absorption peaks because there are three sets of chemically equivalent protons. One set is this, other set is this, and third set is this. Similarly, in this example, one set of protons is this, other set is this, and the third set is this. So it means in both these examples, three types of NMR absorption peaks will appear. Three will appear at different chemical shift value or at different delta value. So hence we see that NMR spectrum furnishes a very valuable information on the basis of different peaks observed, and these different peaks correspond to the number of chemically distinct or non-equivalent protons in a molecule. Often protons that are chemically equivalent are also magnetically equivalent. However, in some cases the protons are chemically equivalent but they are not magnetically equivalent, and there is disturbance in their peaks. However, the magnetic equivalence is of some advanced level and we will discuss it later on. For the time being, we are more focused on chemical equivalence, and if chemically equivalent protons appear in the NMR spectrum, they will be combined in a single peak. So this is the short summary of what we have discussed so far. So next our topic is about integrals and integration. So far we have seen that chemically non-equivalent protons, or the protons that are present in different chemical environment, their peaks appear in the different regions of the spectrum, or they have different chemical shift values, or they have different delta values. Now this information about integrals and their integration, they will help us to measure the quantity of those chemically different protons. So if we see here, this is an example of an NMR spectrum of benzyl acetate taken at a 60 megahertz instrument. So if we can see here that there are three types of protons. One type is of methyl protons, second is of methylene protons, and third is of benzene group protons. So, corresponding to these three types of protons, there are three different types of peaks that have appeared in the spectrum. And if we see the area under these peaks, this will give us the quantity. And if we see here that this is the integration curve that has been drawn, and if we see the length of this integration curve, and it is about 55.5 deviants. So if we consider one big square of 10 deviants, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and half this square and half this square, so it is almost 55.5 deviants. Similarly, integration of this peak will give us about 22 deviants, like 10 plus 10 and 2, so 22 deviants. And similarly, the integration of this third peak, and this is the integration, it will give us about 32.5 deviants. Like if we see here that this is 10 deviants, 10 deviants, third 10 deviant, and this is about 5 deviants, 32.5 deviants overall. So if we see here that the area ratio of these three peaks is about 5 into 2 into 3, so the same as the ratio of the number of three types of hydrogen atoms that are contained. So the NMR spectrometer has a capability to electronically integrate the area under each curve or peak, and it does this by tracing over each peak a vertical rising line, and this line is called as the integral, and this rises in height by an amount proportional to the area under the peak. So this is all about different types of protons and their quantity. So as we have discussed and made a mechanism that the peak which is attached to the electron withdrawing group will be towards the higher ppm value, whereas towards that is attached to the electron donating groups or with highly shielded area, so they will appear at a minimum chemical shift value or ppm, and this is the peak of TMS or tetramethylsilane, which is our internal standard. So if we see here that this peak appears to be of methyl group, and because there is not so much electronegative group attached to it, whereas these methylene, they appear at this position because electronegative oxygen group is attached, and this is the peak which is around 7 to 8, and it always appear for the benzyl group. And the reason for this is not electronegativity, but there is another factor which we discuss in next lectures, that why the benzyl protons, they are appearing in the range from 7 to 8, so why they are appearing in a highly de-shielded area. So another important thing is that the height of this integral line does not give the absolute number of hydrogen atoms. Like if we are seeing that here is 55.5 deviants, and we conclude that 5 protons are here and 2 protons are here and 3 protons are here, so it is not so much strict. It gives the relative number of each type of hydrogen. For example, each given integral to be of any use, there must be some second integral. For example, if we are seeing that there is a 55.5 deviants and then there is 22 deviants, so we compare these deviants with this If we have a single peak, then we cannot identify how much protons will be in this. So all these three peaks are relative. So this benzyl acetate molecule gives us a good example. The first integral definitely rise to 50.5 divisions, and the second appears at 22 divisions, and third appear at 32.5 divisions. So these numbers are relative numbers, and one can find the ratio of these protons by dividing each of the larger number by a smaller number. For example, in this slide we have done this phenomena. So 55.5 divisions is divided by the smallest number, which is of 22 divisions, so we get a ratio of 2.52. then there is a ratio of 1, and then there is a ratio of 1.48. so this gives us the idea about the relative peak height. Now consider this spectrum. This spectrum is again of benzyl acetate, but this has been taken on a 300 megahertz FTR instrument. So this spectrum is similar to that obtained at 60 megahertz instrument, which was a previous. However, some more information is obtained in this 300 megahertz advanced instrument. So first of all, we see that here are the integral lines. These have been shown, but in addition to these, you will observe that digitized integral values for the integrals are printed at the bottom of the peaks. So the area under the curve are relative and not absolute. The integral values are proportional to the actual number of protons present in each peak. So you will need to add up these numbers to obtain the actual number of protons, or you will do a little bit of math. So it is very much easier to do the math when digitized values are obtained in the spectrum rather than to measure the changes in heights of each integral line. So this calculation has been performed in this next slide. So if we can see here that these are the three values of the integral peaks, and the lowest value is of 1.92, so we divide all these with 1.92, so we got the relative integral values, which are of 2.39, 1 and 1.46. so it means we have these three different types of protons. This is the peak of methyl group, this is the peak of methylene group, and this is the peak of 5 protons. So next what we will do, we will multiply these factors with some constant value in order to get the number, proper number, and so that we can fit that number according to the valency of the element, and in this way we can make sense. So if we see here that these numbers are multiplied by a common factor of 2, so when we multiply this with 2, then answer comes 4.78, then 2 and 2.92, and if we round off these figures, like we have to round off 4.78 to a single figure, so we will drop these and the value changes to a 5. This will remain as 2, and similarly this will be converted into 3 proton. So after rounding off, we get the data of 10 protons. So these 10 protons, like 5 of this benzyl group, 2 of methylene group, and 3 of methyl group, these have been completed. So in this way, with more advanced instrumentation, rather than to calculate the number of divisions, we get a digitized value of each integral, and then we divide it by a common least factor to get some relative position of integral values, and then we multiply it with some common factor to get the whole number values after doing the rounding off of data. So in this way, the peak position gives the quality, and the peak height, which is calculated by these integrations, and these integrations are given in digitized format in the high quality or advanced instruments. So it make them easy to calculate the quantity of each different type of or each different type of proton that is chemically distinct from other type of proton. So in this way the NMR helps to identify the quality and also the quantity of different type of protons present in a molecule of analyte. So this was all about today's lecture, in which we have discussed about chemically different protons and how to calculate their quantity. So I hope you have well understood this lecture, but still if you find some confusion in understanding of these concepts, you can always place a question in the comment section. I will respond to your queries as soon as possible. Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz.